I, Jesus, is condemned to death. The very air that Pilate breathes, the voice which speaks in judgment, all his powers of perception and discrimination, choice, decision, all his years, his days and hours, his consciousness of self, his every sense, are given by this prisoner, freely given. The man who stands there making no difference is God. His hands are tied, his heart is open, and he bears Pilate's heart in his and feels the crushing weight of wasted life. He lifts it up in the silence of love. He lifts and heals. He gives himself again with all his gifts into our hands. A Pilate turns away. A door swings open. This is Judgment Day. Jesus is given his cross. He gives himself again with all his gifts, and now we give him something in return. He gives and the earth that bears, the air that lifts, water to cleanse and cool, fire to burn, and from the elements he forged the iron, from stands of life he wove the growing wood. He made the stone that paved the roads of Zion. He saw it all and saw that it is good. We took his iron to edge of the axe blade. We took the axe and laid it to the tree. We made the cross of all he has made and laid it on one who made us free. Now he receives again and lifts on high the gifts he gave. We have turned away. The first fall of Jesus. He made the stones that pave the road of Zion, and well he knows the path we have trodden. He met the devil as a roaring lion and still refused to turn these stones to bread, choosing instead a love will always choose the darker path into heart of pain. And now he's fall upon the stones that bruise, the flesh that breaks, the scrape, the tender skin. He and the earth he made were never close. The dust come face to face, we flinch back from his diverer. He sets his face like a flint and takes our place, staggers beneath the black weight of us all, and falls with us that might break our fall. Jesus' mother. This darker path into the heart of pain, with also hers, which love unfolded him. In flesh she wove him in her womb, again the sword is piercing. She who cradled him and gentled and protected her young son, must stand and watch the cruelty that mars her maiden making. Waves of pain and stun and stricken pass across his face and hers as their eyes meet. Now she unfolds the world he loves in prayer, the mother of the disappeared who knows her pain. All bodies bowed and curled in desperations of roads of tears, all the grief stricken in the last despair are folded into a mantle of her prayer. Simon of Cyrene carries the cross. In desperation this road of tears, by standing bypassers turn away. In others' pain we face our own worst fears and turn our back to keep those fears at bay, unless we compelled, as the man was, by force of arms, of force of circumstance, to face and feel and carry someone's cross in love, full glare and not his backward glance, So Simon, no disciple, still fulfilled the calling, take the cross and follow me. By accident his life was stored and stilled, become all was compelled to be. Make me like him, your pressman and your priest, and after the Christus burdened, released. Veronica wipes Jesus' face. Bystanders and bypassers turn away and wipe his image and the memory. She keeps the station, she is here to stay and stem the flow. She is the requiree of the last look on her face. The blood, sweat and salt tears of his love are soaking through the folds of devotion and wet folds on her handkerchief, like the dew of morning, like softening ray of grace. Because she wiped the grime off his skin and glimpsed the Godhead in his human face, whose hidden image we all bear within. Through all our veils shrouded on a daily plain, the face of God is shining once again. Jesus falls over a second time. Through all our veils and shrouded daily pain, through all our bruises and reopened scars, he falls and he stumbles with us, hurting again. When he hurt, we hurt. With his bears the cruel repetitions of cruelty, the beatings of already beaten men, the second round of torture, the fertility of unheeded pleading, every scream in vain. And by the fall he finds the fallen souls who passed a first and second trial, the souls of who their faith would hold them whole, and found it held for a while. But with us, when the road is twice as long as we can bear, by weakness make us strong. Jesus meets the woman of Jerusalem. He falls and stumbles with us, hurts her again, but still he holds the road and looks in love on those who look at him. Our pain, our close to him and his. This woman moved compassion with him, and he does in them. He asks us both to weep and not to weep. Woman of Gaza and Jerusalem, woman in every nation, weary the deep. Wounds of the memory divide the land, and live of your children, where the mines of wars are sown, Afghanistan, Iraq and Comoterion. He reads the signs and weeps with you, and with you he will stay until the day he wipes the tears away. Jesus falls a third time. He weeps with you, and with you he will stay. When all your staying power has run out, you can't go on. You go on anyway. He stumbles just beside you with the doubt that always haunts you, cuts you down at last, and takes away the hope that drove you on. This is a third fall, and it hurts the worst. The long descent through the darkness of depression, from which there seems no rising, no will to rise or brave or bear your heartbeat. Twice you survived, the third you will surely kill. And you almost wish for that defeat, except that the cold hell where you freeze, you find God beside you on his knees. Jesus is stripped of his garments. You can't go on. You can't go on anyway. He does it with you. He's cradled to the grave. Now it's the time to loose and cast away the useless weight of everything but love, for he began to let him to go before. before the world's for he dies which made, emptied himself, became one of the poor, to make you rich in him, afraid. Seize the strip, the road from off his back. They strip away your own defences too. Now you could lose it all and never lack. Now you can see the naked love can do. Let go the bonds beneath and wait you bow. His stripping strips you both from action now. Jesus is nailed to the cross. See, as they strip the robe from his back and spread his arms to the nail from the cross. And the sky turns black, and the love is firmly fastened onto the loss. But here pure change happens. On the tree loss become gain. Death open in birth. Here wounding heals and fastening makes free earth breathes in heaven. Heaven root is earth. And here we see the length, the breadth, the height, where love and hatred meet and love stays true. Where sin meets grace and darkness turn to light, we can see what love can bear and be and do. And here our Saviour calls us to his side. He loves us. His love is free. His arms are wide open. Jesus died on the cross. The nails that pierce him, the skies turn black. We watch him as his labours draw back breath. He takes our breath away to give it back, return it to the birth through his slow death. We hear him struggle breathing through the pain, who once breathed out a spirit of deep, who formed us in the midst of the dust and the rain, and drew us into consciousness from sleep. His spirit and his life he breathes in us all, mantles his world in his atmosphere, and now he comes to breathe beneath the pall of our pollutions, draw our injured air to cleanse it. His final breath breathes us and bears us through the gates of death. His spirit and his life he breathes in us all. Now on his cross his body breathes no more. Here at the centre everything is still, spent and emptied, open to the core. A quiet taking down, a prizing loose, a cross being lowered, like a wearing scale, unmaking of this, that had used a long withdrawing of each blooded nail. This is ground zero, emptiness and space, with nothing left to say or think, do. But look unflinching on the sacrifice face, that's not move, change or look at you, yet in prizing loose, letting be, he has unfastened you and set you free. Jesus is laid in the tomb. Here at the centre of everything is still, before the stir and the movement of our grief, which bears its pain and rhythm. Ritual beneath, beautiful unless gestures of relief, so they anoint the skin that cannot feel, the soothing of his ruined flesh, which tender care, kissing the wounds they know that they could not heal, with incense and scenting on empty jar in the air. He blesses every love that he weeps and grieves, and makes our grief the pangs in new birth, the love that poured in silence old graves, renewing flowers, tending the bare earth. It's never lost. In him all love is found, and sown in him, and the seed in the rich ground.